At first, astronomers thought it was just another icy wanderer, much like Oumuamua or Borisov. But the data told a different story. 3I Atlas wasn't just bright, it was too bright, glowing with a constant, unwavering intensity that no natural body should have. It didn't flare or dim as it rotated. It shimmered like a beacon. And when Webb turned its gaze toward it, the telescope's infrared instruments found something almost impossible to explain, a heat source that radiated from the inside outward, like a power core hidden beneath its surface. That discovery set off alarm bells across the scientific community. Normal comets reflect sunlight, they don't emit it. But this one was alive with energy. Its thermal readings pulsed faintly, following a slow rhythm, one that looked suspiciously like a timed cycle, not a random variation. Scientists called it a glitch. Then they called it a coincidence. But after weeks of data, the pattern remained. It beat like a heart. Across continents, observatories joined forces to study it. Hubble confirmed the same anomaly, consistent heat output with no sign of dust trails, jets, or chemical outgassing. Its spin remained perfectly stable, almost too stable, as if its motion were actively controlled. Then came the strangest clue of all. Its surface reflectivity measured values closer to polished metal than ice or stone. That was the moment the word artifact appeared in private discussion boards among NASA and ESA teams. Because if it was metal, if it emitted heat, and if it maintained a guided course, then it wasn't a rock. It was a machine. From there, everything escalated. Analysts began studying the object's light curve, the way its brightness changed over time, and found it wasn't random. The wavelengths it produced were limited to a tight frequency band, the kind used by communication or guidance systems here on Earth. It was like a coded signal wrapped in light. Not scattered sunlight, but controlled emission. More unsettling still, that spectrum fluctuated slightly whenever solar radiation increased, like an automatic system compensating in real time. The glow responded to the environment. It was active. By then, theories started circulating that 3I Atlas wasn't drifting aimlessly, it was maneuvering. Tiny deviations in its path couldn't be explained by gravity or solar pressure alone. It had adjusted course, steering gently toward the plane of Earth's orbit. The precision was undeniable. To some, it looked like navigation. To others, like surveillance. As more observatories joined the watch, a team of astrophysicists at MIT ran Fourier analyses on the radio noise near the object's trajectory. Hidden beneath what looked like static was a faint repeating structure, not a human signal, but too regular to be random. A pattern repeating in cycles, buried deep in the electromagnetic spectrum. It wasn't words, but it was unmistakably intentional. One theory said it might be telemetry, data sent home. Another said it could be a beacon waiting for a reply. Either way, it was sending something, and it wasn't aimed at us. When a classified report leaked from NASA's internal servers, it confirmed what many suspected. Space agencies around the world were quietly tracking the object under restricted protocols. Some considered it harmless, a derelict probe from a civilization long gone. Others feared it might be a functioning scout. If that were true, then 3I Atlas wasn't visiting by accident. It was here on purpose. The Webb telescope continued to observe, capturing changes that defied explanation. The object's luminosity suddenly spiked, a 40% increase in under 2 minutes, then stabilized again, brighter than before. There was no solar flare, no impact event. It was as though a system had powered on. Immediately afterward, its trajectory shifted again, only slightly, but deliberately, setting it on a new course that brought it closer to Earth's orbital plane. The odds of a natural object performing that maneuver? Practically zero. As spectral readings improved, scientists began identifying compounds never before seen in space, exotic elements and high reflectivity alloys more at home in a laboratory than a comet. Some absorption lines even hinted at materials theorized only in quantum simulations. The evidence grew undeniable. This thing was engineered. Every observation pointed toward design. Theories once confined to science fiction were now written into classified memos stamped, restricted. Then came the experiment that changed everything. A SETI team, acting without authorization, transmitted a carefully encoded message toward the object, simple mathematical constants, universal chemical data, and symbolic representations of life. 3 days passed. Then, exactly 72 hours later to the second, a narrow-band pulse came back. It wasn't language. It wasn't an echo. It was a ping, processed, delayed, and deliberately timed. After that, things got strange. Telescopes aimed at 3I Atlas began experiencing unexplained errors. Webb's infrared sensors glitched. Hubble's gyros drifted. Ground-based telescopes captured frames corrupted with static. All the failures occurred in precise time windows that matched the object's orbital position. It was as if something didn't want to be seen. Researchers quietly proposed the unthinkable, that 3I Atlas might be actively interfering with our instruments. Not only did it emit light, it could control what we observed. Then, the updates stopped. Public access to Webb's data stream was locked. Statements from NASA and ESA turned vague. The story faded from headlines, replaced by silence. Independent astronomers tried to keep watch, but their recordings were dismissed as noise or fabrication. It was as though the world had been told to look away. But behind the silence, one final clue slipped through. Analysts mapping its movement noticed a chilling coincidence. Its trajectory formed a spiral arc matching the Fibonacci sequence, a mathematical pattern that defines harmony in nature and, ironically, human communication design. The object's course corrections followed prime number intervals, the same sequences used in digital encryption. Coincidence? The odds were beyond comprehension. That's when the realization dawned. 3I Atlas wasn't just a traveler. It was sending a message, not through words or radio, but through motion itself, a pattern written in its flight. A signal made of mathematics. A cosmic signature saying, "We are here." And now, as Webb continues to watch in silence, one truth stands unshakable. 3I Atlas was never just a rock. From its inner light to its impossible orbit, from the signal it returned to the silence that followed, every clue leads to one terrifying conclusion. Something made it. Something ancient, deliberate, and intelligent. Maybe it's an observer. Maybe it's a scout. Or maybe it's a messenger sent long before humanity ever looked up. Whatever it is, it saw us first. And if that flare was a signal, then somewhere out there, something now knows we're watching back. Subscribe to our channel and thanks for watching.